Hi, I'm Larry Fortna and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about ways to do some cord cutting, if you would like, or ways to get TV content with no commercials. And depending on how much you want to invest in this, you can do this for as little as free with limited capabilities. Or you can add to that and buy a $39 a year subscription, which we're going to talk about. And you can also buy a tuner, which you can hook up to an over-the-air antenna to get free television. Or you can use another tuner, which is a part of the product line, that can get your existing cable content. Now, let's talk a little bit about the tuner portion of it first. The tuner is made by Silicon Dust, and you can go to their website, silicondust.com, and read about their tuners and what their capabilities are. But basically they have three models. These two here on the left are over-the-air models. So you're going to use a over-the-air antenna to get free TV with these, and you're going to get very good quality for the over-the-air stations that you can pick up. Now, basically that's going to give you your local channels. You're not going to get any of the advanced content like HBO or anything like that. But these are two tuner models. Each one of these has two tuners for recording. And this device over here on the right side is called the HDhomerun Prime, and that's the device that I have, and it has three tuners in it. And with those three tuners, you also use a cable card from your cable company. So this is kind of how all this works out. You can have these devices. You can have more than one in your home. They're all wirelessly connected. And these things give you a lot of capability. So I'm not going to get into all of that right this moment. What I'd really like to talk to you about is the Plex server. Now, the Plex server is on you can go to the website. I believe it's called plex.tv. And this will explain about a lot of the features that I'm going to talk about today. This tells you what Plex is, so you can, after you're done watching my video, you can go over to their website and read a little bit more about it. But to get right into it, part of the thing with Plex, even though it's free, is free with limited capabilities. If you want to get the most out of it, you need to buy a subscription. And the subscription is very inexpensive. It's $39 a year. And what that does is open up the doors to a lot of features. We can run this Plex server on your computer. You can run it on a NAS drive. That's a network access server, in case you're unfamiliar with a NAS drive. But let's talk about some of the features that it has. I'm doing this presentation on my MacBook Pro, and I have a Plex server running on it. But I also have Plex server running on my MacBook Mini. So I can go in here and select which device I want to connect to. And you can connect to a cloud where you can save your movies and stuff that you want to watch, say offline or at a location not at your home. You can use the Plex cloud, but we're I'm going to take you over to my Mac Mini because this is where I've really got most of my content set up. And we'll explain some of these features that you can get with the Plex Pass. Now this is what the interface looks like, and when you initially get it, you've got to set up your own libraries, and they're very simple to do. The libraries allow you to point to content that's on your hard drive or where you want to store things on your hard drive. And then, because if you have the HDhomerun device, as I do, you have some additional choices in here, such as a program guide and a recording schedule. And if we go over here to the settings, we'll see here that I have a DVR, so I can record. And when you go to the DVR settings, you'll see that you can add devices. So if you had multiple HDhomerun devices in your home, you can add those here. I have the HDhomerun Prime, which has 3 tuners, and it has a cable card which I got from Chromecast, and I'm getting 164 channels, although only 159 are enabled. I thought I was only paying for 50 channels. That was my package, the Blast package. But there's 164 channels that come through on my HDhomerun Prime. I don't know if I'm getting more channels than I'm supposed to or not, but anyhow, that's how many I'm getting. So if I go back here and bring up the program guide, it's not organized the way that you would typically expect with your normal TV guide that you've been accustomed to using. Basically, they break this down into categories such as starting soon. So these are all the movies or channels that are going to be starting soon, and they'll tell you they start in 6 minutes from now or whatever. And you can thumb through these. And if you know what you're looking for, you can go up here to the search bar and search for it. Maybe I'm searching for, let's try NBC, for example. And I see here I've got Nightly News and Dateline NBC. Maybe I'm looking for a particular movie or a particular TV series, like, well, my wife likes to watch General Hospital. So as I start typing, these names start popping up, and here would be General Hospital, for example. And when I click on that, it tells me that there's 9 episodes available, and you can read more content about what it's all about. And this is a soap. And then you have the option to record the entire series if you like. So if I go to my recording schedule, I see here that for today I've already recorded one movie here that's got the little play button active on it. And for tomorrow I have a whole series of Airplane Repo scheduled to record. And later on in the week, I have APB, which is a new series that's going to be recorded, and Mommy's Little Girl on Saturday at 6 o'clock. Now, I've also set up a pointer to some movies that I have already stored, that they're videos that I've downloaded from the internet, from various places. And if I go over to this little ellipse, I can share these movies with you. I can go in and do these other features such as edit. I'll just kind of show you. All right, hold on. what I really like to get into is the channels content, which is something that is optional with the purchase of the Plex Pass, $39 a year. And this is where you can actually watch your TV series with no commercials. And you can either watch that right here on your computer, or if you want to watch this content on your TV, you need to set up a $35 device called the Chromecast. And they make two versions. They make a Chromecast and a Chromecast Ultra. The Ultra has the ability to connect an Ethernet cable to it for higher streaming content type video. And that's a little, well, it's twice as much as the other unit, but it's probably worth it in the long run. So for $70, you can get the Chromecast Ultra, a $40 a year subscription to Plex Pass, and now you can view any of this content on your TV through an HDMI port if you have a newer type of TV. And if you would like to be able to control that content, such as stopping and or pausing it while you're watching it, because there's no commercials. This is going to go from start to finish. So an hour-long movie is going to be, or a TV program is going to be about 41 minutes or so, 41 to 43 minutes. So now if you want to pause this remotely, there's no remotes that operate your computer. But if you have a smartphone or an iPad or something like that, there are apps that allow you to control your Plex server right from your phone or your iPad, so you can pause the video there. We can look at that in a little bit. But I want to take you ahead and show you the channels. You can install, there's a lot of channels out there that you can install. I have 12 of them installed. One of them being a viewer for my HDhomerun device. But if you don't have the HDhomerun device, and if you install the channels such as ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, any of those, you can actually watch these series right here on your computer and stream it to your TV if you like. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Conviction, which is one of the ABC channels. This has season 1 on it. And they allow you to watch the pilot and then the last 5 episodes. So if I wanted to go over here and watch, say, episode number 12 of Conviction, I can mouse over this icon, and if I click on the ellipses here, I can actually share this video with some of my friends, or I can set this to watch later, or I can get information about this particular movie content. So this media is 720 by 1280 pixel resolution, and it tells me just information about that particular movie. So if we go ahead and click the play button, we can bring up the movie right here on our PC, and it takes a moment to load the content into the before it starts playing, but once we have that, we can sit here and watch it. And I'm going to pause this for a moment because I want to show you what will happen if I want to watch this on my nice new 60-inch 4K TV. To do that, when you have Chromecast, you get a little icon here, which is, you have one here in Plex Media Server, and I have one in my browser. I'm just going to click this one here in my browser, and you'll see it'll drop down a box, and I have one of these installed on each of my TVs. So I have one in the Florida room and one here in the living room. And I'm going to head and cast this movie right here into my living room TV, which is behind me. And if I swing back here, you can see that this is now up here on my screen, and I'm actually casting this to the to my living room. Oops, let's see, what did I just do here? Okay, I clicked in the wrong place here. Let's go ahead and dismiss this for a moment. And okay, so we're gonna stop that, and we'll stop casting. So anyhow, all of these episodes here have no commercials to them. They're typical 1 hour show. It's going to run about 40-some minutes, about 41 minutes to 43 minutes. And all of these different channels, all these shows, you can watch up to the last 5 episodes and catch up on whatever you might have missed. And then I have installed a viewer to the tuner on my HDhomerun device, so I can watch the live TV through the Plex server, which kind of works like this. Now, because I am, there we go. So there I'm watching the channel 431 live TV. So this has commercials, which is kind of a pain. So I don't really like to watch live TV. I'd rather watch it without commercials, or at least record it. But inside, the symptoms linger. So let's go ahead and kill that. So I wanted to show you the Plex app on the iPhone to show you that you can watch the channels and control the pause and play functions of the channels right from your smartphone. So here we're going to our channels on our actually I'm over here on, looks like I'm over on my my MacBook Pro at the moment. But let's just pick our ABC again here. And what were we watching here? We were watching Conviction, right? So if I go over to Conviction and pick up season 1, and let's say we wanted to watch this particular episode, then we could start playing here. And I don't know that you can see on this particular screen, but on my iPhone I actually have a pause button, and I can go forward 30 seconds, and I can go back 10 seconds, and I can control the volume and things like that. And I'm doing all this right here from my iPhone. And I were streaming this content, actually I can stream that content right from my iPhone. There is a button up here which you can't see in the on the screen here, but there's a button here where I can cast directly from my iPhone over to my TV. So I don't even need to run the Plex server off of my computer. I can do this right off of my iPhone. So let's see, let's go ahead and let's go back here. Let's just go ahead and turn that off for the moment. There you go. So that gives you an idea of what we're doing there. And just kind of go through this interface again with you. These are my recently watched movies, recently added television, movies, photos, and music. I don't know if I recall if I got the music on there, but anyhow, you can listen to the music. And again, this is music that's stored on my Mac Mini computer, not on this MacBook Pro where I'm recording from. And if I switched over here to my MacBook Pro, I have different content stored on it. So just to give you an idea how that stuff works. And again, you know, I can share these movies with my friends through some of the sharing capabilities of the Plex server. So that kind of covers the basics of the Plex server. You get an idea of how all this works, and for a simple $39 a year subscription to the Plex, you get access to this channels and some of the more advanced features of the Plex server. And if you add the HDhomerun Tuner to the mix, then you get to watch the live TV through either through over-the-air antennas with one of these two devices, or with a cable card from your cable company. You can watch this on your HDhomerun Prime device, which is what I have. I should note that if you want to use one and want to get one of these, you want to try it out for a while before you decide to return your cable equipment. I returned my cable equipment. I was paying $10 a month for the Chromecast modem and router, and I returned that and I bought my own because I can pay off my router in about a year and a half, and I've been paying rental on my modem and router for years, when I could have bought several of these if I had done it earlier. So anyhow, I turned that in. I also turned in all of these stupid little adapters for my other TVs, and I ended up getting about $30 knocked off of my Comcast bill. And one of the devices, I went ahead and kept my HD tuner, and I think they knocked that off of my bill as well, and probably shouldn't have. We'll see when I get the actual bill from them. I just got a preliminary bill showing what they were going to be charging me, but it looks like I might have knocked about $30 or $35 off of my Comcast bill by just turning in the equipment and using my own. Now, if you wanted to use one of these devices and do over-the-air, you might even be able to save a little more by just only having internet capability. But I really I like the convenience of having the remotes and still have a tuner that my wife can use for recording her soap operas in the afternoon and watching them and capturing those on her DVR with a remote. And then I use this tuner to capture some of the shows where we can't record them all. Let's say there's 3 shows in the evening that we want to record. We only have 2 tuners in the Comcast box, so I can record the extra show or extra 3 shows on my HDhomerun device. Now, as to where I store all of this content, I'm actually using a NAS server. That's a network access server, NAS drive. I have a 2 terabyte Western Digital NAS drive set up, and that's where I map my movies to. When I go to TV shows, for example, and I go to where the folders are stored, actually I've stored these folders on my Google Drive, which is also accessible on my smart TV. But I could have set those up to go. Let's take movies for example, and see where I put those. I got that one stored on there also. Oh, this is on the MacBook Pro. I forget. I thought that was strange. Let's go back to the Mac Mini, which is over here, and then let's look at TV shows. And let's see where I've got those stored. So this is actually stored on my network access server. So if I was to go to Browse and then Public, this is my NAS drive right here. And if I select that, it brings up all of the folders that are on my NAS drive. And I could select one of these folders, and when I do, I can see what's already stored in there. And I could add this as a second storage location. So that's kind of how you set up your libraries. I'm just going to cancel out of here. And by using a NAS server, a NAS drive like I've got over here, my smart TV sees that drive. So I don't even have to have Plex server running once I've stored these videos, recorded them. I can just go watch them right off of my smart TV, right directly off of the drive, and that's a lot quicker than going through the Plex server. But the Plex server is nice because it offers the DVR capability, and I can record all those shows off of those 3 tuners right there on my Western Digital NAS drive. And I can share those drives. I can share those with anyone, because the Western Digital MyCloud drive has, has some, get back down here. It has the capability to send an email off to somebody and share those files with somebody else. So those are some of the capabilities that I've set up for my particular TV network, and I hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit about this. And if you'd like to learn even more, I would suggest you go to the YouTube channel called lon.tv. That's LON.tv, and subscribe to Lon's videos, and because he will tell you how to set up a NAS drive and how to use the Plex server, and he goes through this pretty quickly, but he's got a lot of videos out there, and he releases a new video almost every day on subjects from computers to NAS drives, Plex servers, and all that sort of thing. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at larryfortna, that's LARRYFORTNA, @gmail.com, and I would be happy to talk with you more about setting up a system at your home if you would be interested. So with that, I'm going to close out here.